Alright, so today we're going to show you how to replace the quarter panel window on an Excursion. You can see there's damage. The new window has a frame attached to it, so you can't replace just the glass. So the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the power, because we're going to have the windows and doors open and I don't want to kill the battery. Okay, here are our supplies. We have a 15 mil socket, a 9 mil, a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips, some needle nose pliers, a couple of pry bars, razors, a longer extension and socket, silicone, some gloves, and torch for removing the old sealant. A brief overview of what we're going to do. First, we'll need to remove the third row, then the spare and the spare holder, and all the trim pieces inside. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay, we've removed the wheel panel covering, and as you can see now, you have a bunch of nuts and bolts holding in the window. So we'll move on to removing those and getting the glass out. That is the motor right there. The new glass that I purchased came with a motor installed, so this part may be optional for you. But all you do to remove this is undo this clip here and slide it out. Alright, I took off these pieces from the headliner to make it easier to access the bolts that are back here. You can see a couple of them there. And now all the nuts have been removed and we're ready to start taking the glass out. This is where you're going to use your pry tool to reach in here between the body and the frame and pry it loose. There's going to be quite a bit of silicone buildup holding the glass in. That's why the frame and the glass hasn't just fallen out after we've removed all the nuts. This is what it looks like when you start separating it. That's what's been holding in the frame to the body. Alright, well the glass just popped off, and this is why, because it's just molded to these two mounts, and that's all that was holding it in. Okay, now that we've removed the glass and the frame, we're going to start removing all the old silicone. So for that, we're actually going to use a plastic putty knife to remove the silicone. And what we've found that works best is pushing it down to the edge and then running the edge of the putty knife underneath the silicone to lift it off. Okay, this is the new piece of glass. As you can see, the frame is intact. Even has a new motor on it. So we're going to begin the process of reinstalling. Alright, so now we're going to put a new bead of silicone around the window frame there on the actual vehicle. Alright, we have reinstalled the window, so our new window is back in place. I'm going to put back the interior and test it up. Alright, new glass is installed and we've cleaned it up. Only thing left is for us to buff the tape marks off, but we won't show that here. And we've reinstalled the interior trim. So it's all ready to go back together, and it only took us about 2 hours.